Hello, everybody. I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish, French, Japanese, English language arts, and over the summer I have a WANIC summer health class, and I have been talking about how I squeeze an entire semester into 3 weeks. So we've been talking about vocabulary games. It's very crucial that the students know what we're talking about. We've got our mental health unit, we've got our drugs and vaping and smoking units, and we've got nutrition, and we've got heart health. And the students need to know a lot of vocabulary, most of which they've kind of heard before, but some of which are totally new to them. And so they need to play with that vocabulary, and I've been talking about all the vocabulary games I do. And since I am working out of a textbook, the textbook has laid out, these are the vocabulary words you need to know. And so I just basically took all that stuff, printed it large onto cardstock, and I play a lot of different games with the cardstock. So again, around 8:30 and around 12:10, we just play games with the vocabulary. We've got our mini lessons here where we're using the vocabulary. We've got some mini lessons here where I wrote stuff. Here, I wrote it nicer over here, and then it's kind of off the edge of the screen, I know. And so the students are having a lot of exposure to the vocabulary. And now at the end of the day, I need to quiz them on how much they remember. And as a language teacher, it's a little weird to me to do this because I know that everything's just in short-term memory. I do my best. The reason we do the games is because I really want it to stick longer and harder and everything. But yeah, it's just a quiz, and it's just to say, it really is just checking off a box. Yes, we did this unit, and I need to prove to the powers that be that we did exactly what the book said we were supposed to do. But I don't like working out of a textbook, and I don't like doing it that way. Whoops, put the mouse too far low. So this is what I do. I'm going to take you to Blue-Kit now. Okay, this is Blue-Kit, and I love Blue-Kit. And you can see I've got different categories for all the hundreds of millions of things I teach. Health can be one category all on its own. I don't need a lot of subcategories because it's 13, 14, 15 days on some years. So it's pretty easy for me just to say, oh, here's the health 7, and this is nutrition, and these are the questions, and we can look at the questions, and I'll show you what they look like, show answers. I did all multiple choice for this, partially because I made these Blue-Kits before Blue-Kit had the writing ones, but mostly because, I'm not grading them on their spelling. This is a health class, not an English class, and I just want to make sure that they understand these terms. Okay, so I left it all multiple choice, and sometimes it goes definition word, and sometimes it goes term definition. All right, so let me go back and show you what it looks like and why I love Blue-Kit so much. I'm just going to hit this play button, host, sure. I do use table points the way that I do for all my language classes, and I should show you that in one of the extra stuff. But look at all these different possibilities. When the kids get bored with Gold Quest, we can do Crypto Hack. There's Busy Bees, there's Mini Mind. There's so many different play modes. The ones I will not do, Classic, that's Kahoot. If I wanted to do Kahoot, I'd do Kahoot, but this is so much more interesting. So I don't ever do Classic, and I don't ever do Battle Royale because I have this thing where I don't want students to be sitting passively. And Battle Royale, it's a lot of like answer and then wait and then wait and then wait, and then you get to see if your answer's right or not. And I don't like that. The gold standard, if I can say, is Gold Quest, because in a typical 7-minute game, students are going to answer 80, 90, 100 questions. Even your struggling students are still going to answer each question at least twice. If you've got like a 25 question set, they'll at least answer 50 questions. Some of these other ones like where is Monster Brawl is fun, but the students are only going to answer 30 questions in that 7-minute time. So I would suggest, if you don't know anything else, do Gold Quest. Fishing Frenzy, if your students don't like to compete, because that's kind of chill. but they're all pretty fun, and there's a lot of new stuff that they are introducing. Factory is my favorite. So that's what I do for my final quiz. And frankly, I just make it out of 10 points and I look at the percentage because there's so much good data that BlueKit gives me. Um, and I can see like which students are struggling or not. And I let my students retake quizzes as often as they want. So if they want to stay in for one of the breaks or stay in for lunch the next day and retake it and get a better grade, absolutely. The more contact they have with the vocabulary, the better they're going to do. So that was my spiel. That was a much quicker one. That was my spiel on what I do for the vocabulary. And in our next 100 million episodes of this playlist, I'm going to talk about individual projects that I do in health class. And I really love my projects. I love doing projects with the students. I feel like they get much more out of it when they're applying everything they learn. So I hope to see you there.